Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take those really intriguing sources, the ones you hear about, and break them down into something potent, something insightful.
Exactly. The goal is to cut through the noise, give you that well-informed feeling, without you having to wade through everything yourself. We get right to the heart of what's fascinating.
And today, we've got something special. We're jumping into the latest chapter of a work that's really grabbing people, an epic science fantasy story. Think of this as our book club session, just for you.
That's a great way to put it. We're tackling Book 1, Chapter 4, The Forge. And believe me, this chapter lives up to its name. It's about creation, about revelation.
And a pretty audacious leap into the unknown, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. We're going deep into the mind of this scientist, Jaren. He's brilliant, but he's also desperate. He's right on the edge of something huge.
We see him hit failure, real agonizing failure, and then he comes up with this plan that seems, well, impossible. Not just watching reality, but actually trying to talk to it.
It's incredible stuff. But first, for anyone just joining our sort of reading group here, we really need to quickly touch on the last chapter, Chapter 3, The Echo. It sets the stage perfectly for the Forge.
Right, context is key. So where does the echo leave us, or rather, where does it start? It kicks off pretty intensely, doesn't it?
It really does. You're immediately thrown into this visceral nightmare Jaren's having. He wakes up, or thinks he wakes up, on his cot in the annex. He hears the hum of Echo's servers, his supercomputer.
His life's work.
His life's work, exactly. But it's wrong.
Yeah.
There's this overlay, a high-pitched, discordant whine. It's the sound of a machine basically screaming as it tears itself apart.
And he rushes to the console, and it's just stark red text, like the worst possible error message.
The absolute worst. Catastrophic thermal failure, core cluster 7, meltdown imminent. And the chilling part is it's his design flaw. The heatsink he engineered has failed.
Wow. So the very thing he built to understand the universe is literally melting down because he pushed it too hard.
That's heavy. It is. And it caps right into his deepest fears. The criticisms he's faced from people like Finch and Ben, that he's reckless, that he's courting disaster. This nightmare is his own self-doubt made terrifyingly real.
And then it gets worse. There's banging on the door.
Yeah, this heavy, methodical banging. Not panic, but authoritative. University security. They're shouting about power surges, the whole building browning out because of him. The outside world is literally breaking down his door.
You can just feel the panic rising. He knows this. Is it research confiscated, career over, labeled a madman, and the door is splintering. Thump, thump, crack.
Total desperation. He's trapped, windows barred, no way out, until his eyes land on this thick armored power conduit he installed.
Leading to that old Cold War service tunnel he knows about.
Exactly. And his plasma torch is right there. It's this desperate, insane idea: cut through the wall, escape into the forgotten parts of the university.
Just as the door bursts open.
He snaps awake, gasping, drenched in cold sweat, staring at the real annex ceiling. The relief is just immense.
That transition must be jarring. From total chaos to
utter stillness. The nightmare's discordant whine is gone, replaced by the familiar, harmonious hum of the actual Echo servers. It was just a dream.
But a dream that means something, clearly. It highlights the stakes, the pressure he's under.
Absolutely. It's foreshadowing. It's psychological tension.
Yeah.
It perfectly sets up the intensity of the real breakthrough that follows.
Which comes almost immediately after he wakes up properly, right? He looks at the console.
Half expecting that red warning text from the nightmare. But instead, there's just one line, glowing calmly. Analysis complete.
Adrenaline hits. This is the moment he's been working towards for, forever, it feels like.
For 36 hours straight, running on fumes. But even now, he doesn't just dive in. There's this interesting little ritual he performs.
Right, the custodian's closet. Tell us about that.
It's this small, unmarked door. He goes in there, splashes freezing cold water on his face like a physical reset, puts on a clean t-shirt. It's like he's grounding himself, preparing himself mentally and physically before he confronts whatever Echo has found.
A way to face the potentially world-altering result with a clear head.
Precisely. He even looks in the mirror and sees this pale, wild-eyed man, a ghost in his own machine. It shows the toll this obsession has taken.
Then the battle rations. Protein bar, energy drink.
Yep. Sits on the cold concrete floor, takes a deep breath, and then just says to the empty room, "Show me." It's so simple, but loaded with anticipation.
And what Echo displays, it's not just data, is it? It's a visualization.
A stunningly elegant one. A 3D model of the cosmic microwave background of the CMB, the afterglow of the Big Bang, basically, presented as this vast celestial sphere.
Already awe-inspiring. But then the pattern appears.
Superimposed on the CMB, glowing this soft electric blue. And it's alive, not static.
The description of how he perceives it is fascinating. It changes as he looks. First, like a tapestry.
Yeah, like a great tapestry. Blue threads woven into the CMB, like the yttrium arteries in his superconductors. Some bright, some faded, ancient looking, suggesting maybe cosmic laws that have changed over eons.
But then his mind clicks further. It's not just a tapestry, it's...
More like a neural network, like Echo itself. The threads are conduits, nodes flare with light, pulsing information across this celestial lacework. Suddenly, it's not just a pattern, it's a system. A living, thinking thing.
Which is a massive conceptual leap from passive cosmic artifact to something active, maybe even intelligent.
It completely changes the game. And then comes the final, most mind-bending perception, the geometry.
This is where it gets really weird. Lines passing through each other without intersecting. Nodes unfolding into shapes that can't exist in 3 dimensions.
Exactly. He's seeing or perceiving the shadow of a 14-dimensional object. It's described as a constant, graceful unfolding of impossible differential geometry.
Can you break that down like the flatland analogy?
That's a perfect analogy. Imagine a 2D being on paper. A 3D sphere passeth through their world. They only see a changing circle, a 2D shadow of the 3D reality. Jaren's seeing a 3D shadow of something incomprehensibly more complex, something existing in 14 dimensions.
So he's glimpsing the underlying architecture of reality itself.
And the text makes a point that his mind, because of his unique background, physics, material science, quantum mechanics, even ancient languages, doesn't just see it, it absorbs it, a direct download of pure understanding.
It's not just about being smart, it's about having the right kind of interconnected knowledge.
Precisely. The synthesis of different fields allowed him to perceive what a narrow specialist might miss, which leads to that incredible line. It was a language, and for the first time in human history, someone was reading it.
Wow. And the proof, the confirmation.
Comes right below the visualization. Stark text, pattern confirmed, probability of random occurrence, 1 in 10, 24.
1 in 10 to the power of 24. That number is meaningless in terms of chance, isn't it? It's effectively 0.
It's astronomically small. For context, there are maybe 1080 atoms in the universe. So this pattern cannot be random. It's intentional. It's proof of a hidden order, a cosmic grammar.
Which brings us crashing into Chapter 4, the Forge. He's staring at this number, this impossibility.
And all the previous conflicts, the anger at Finch, the frustration, it just evaporates. It's petty and insignificant compared to this. This is a revelation.
He feels that gut-wrenching vertigo again. The shadow and fire analogy here is powerful.
It really lands. Spending your life studying shadows, then turning to see the fire itself. It means everything you thought you knew is incomplete. Your whole framework for reality just shattered.
He even looks at Einstein, Feynman, Hawking, the giants, and sees their work now as magnificent, beautiful, and profoundly incomplete.
Like they translated just a single verse from a book nobody knew existed until now. It's a huge moment of intellectual humility, but also terror.
Definitely terror. The isolation must be immense. He's described as utterly, terrifyingly alone on a new continent of reality. He has the proof. But what does it mean?
That's the terrifying next question. Is this pattern just a fossil, a leftover from the Big Bang? Or is it an active grammar? A rule you can use, a language you can speak?
He has to know, and that drives everything in the Forge. But how? He doesn't have a CERN-level particle accelerator in his basement annex.
No, he has his small, custom quantum entanglement device, the one he used for testing superconductors.
Okay, so quantum entanglement. Particles linked, right? Measure one, know the other instantly, no matter the distance.
That's the gist. It's a way to interact with the quantum realm, albeit on a small scale. It's the only tool he has for what he wants to try next.
And his plan is... Well, Audacious doesn't quite cover it. He wants to imprint the pattern onto entangled particles.
Using a precisely modulated electromagnetic field. It's like trying to carve, I don't know, the Lord's Prayer onto the head of the pin using a sound wave. He's not just reading the language anymore, he's trying to speak it.
He runs a simulation first, thankfully. Tells Echo to model it.
Right. Model the informational pattern as a data payload. Target the entangled pair. He gets a graph, watches the lines representing the particles.
And for a heart-stopping fraction of a second, it almost works. The lines waver, almost stabilize.
Almost. Then they just collapse back into chaos. Total noise. The simulation message is brutal. Pattern decoherence. Payload lost.
Ouch. After that massive discovery, to hit such an immediate wall, how does he react?
His heart sinks. He thinks maybe he is just a fossil, a picture. The vertigo comes back, but this time it's bitter, laced with failure. He feels the weight of the sleepless nights, the fear that maybe he is just a sophisticated numerologist who found a meaningless coincidence.
That self-doubt is so relatable, even for a genius on the verge of rewriting physics. How does he pull out of that nosedive?
He stares at the failed simulation, at the pattern dissolving into static, and then his unique mind, the one that sees connections, finds a flaw in his approach. It clicks.
The aha moment. What was it?
It wasn't the word, the pattern itself was correct. It was the voice, the carrier wave he used.
Ah, the delivery mechanism.
Exactly. The analogy in the book is fantastic. Trying to carry a complex, 14-dimensional piece of information on a simple 3-dimensional sine wave.
Like trying to carve a sculpture with a hammer. That makes perfect sense. The tool didn't fit the task.
Precisely. The carrier wave, the energy field he used, had to match the complexity of the information it carried. It couldn't be a simple frequency. It needed to be a complex waveform that mimicked the geometry of the pattern itself.
So the energy wave itself had to have that multidimensional structure, or at least a shadow of it.
Yes. And suddenly he's not defeated. He gets this manic grin. He wasn't wrong. He just hadn't been thinking big enough. He grabs a marker, turns back to the whiteboard, totally reinvigorated, a man possessed.
And this is where the forge truly begins. The creation process. The source calls it a symphony of mind and machine, where Jaren becomes master of this trinity: information, material, and energy.
That trinity is the core concept. He's not just a physicist or a coder anymore. He's weaving all these disciplines together in this focused dance of creation.
Okay, let's break down that trinity. First, information. How does he define the syntax of this new voice?
He's at the whiteboard, but it's not just equations now. He's transcribing a geometric language, tracing the pattern shadow in 3D. It's described as both differential equations and art.
And he's working with Echo, right? It's a partnership.
A crucial one. He'll state the concept, Echo, I need the carrier wave geometry. Find the most stable expression, providing the human intuition, the abstract understanding. And Echo does the brute force calculation, testing thousands of possibilities to find the most stable mathematical form. It's this beautiful fluid dance of intuition and logic.
Giving mathematical rigor to this perceived impossible geometry, the result is the pure syntax for the voice. Okay, so he has the blueprint for the voice. Next is material, the instrument to shape it.
He moves to the entanglement device. You can almost smell the hot solder. His first instinct is a conventional waveguide, basically a metal pipe to reflect and guide the energy.
But that's old thinking, he realizes. Why?
Because reflection traps the wave. He doesn't want to trap it. He needs to sculpt it as it passes through. He needs refraction, not reflection. He needs a lens.
But not just any lens. How do you build a lens to fold a 3D wave into a 14-dimensional shape? That sounds impossible.
It does. He needs a dielectric material, something non-conductive, so the energy passes through it, bending and slowing. But to impose that incredibly complex geometry, he realizes the lens itself needs that complexity built in. The solution, a fractal lens.
A fractal lens, explain that.
Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar at different scales. Think of a coastline or a snowflake. By designing the lens with a fractal structure, an impossibly intricate lattice, he can create incredibly complex interactions with the energy field passing through it. It's not just bending the wave, it's imprinting the higher dimensional geometric information onto it.
So he uses the 3D printer to create this physical instruction manual made of polymer.
Exactly. He's printing a physical paragraph of instructions, a semi-crystalline lattice of logic that would teach the energy how to speak. His hands are steady, like a surgeon's. It's the abstract syntax made physically real.
Okay, he has the syntax information and the instrument material.
Yeah.
Now he needs the energy itself, the raw sound.
Right, and a single energy source is too simple, a monotone roar. He needs a chorus, a complex blend. He knows he can't make a true 14D wave in his lab.
But he can make it shadow, like a hologram.
Precisely. A complex interference pattern in 3D that carries the same informational signature as the 14D pattern. Echo runs the numbers, confirms his intuition. He needs a minimum of 12 distinct carrier waves, perfectly synchronized.
12 waves. The text mentions this number resonates with some ancient archetypal sense of cosmic order, like the universe itself uses these base 12 structures.
It's a nice touch, hinting at deeper connections. So he physically patches in multiple high-frequency amplifiers. Then, at the console, he doesn't just dial up the power, he uses Echo to orchestrate these 12 waves.
How so? It's not just 12 identical waves, is it?
No, each of the 12 has a precisely calculated frequency, amplitude, and phase. They have to fire in perfect synchronicity, creating this incredibly complex interference pattern.
The analogy is tuning 12 different instruments to play a single impossible chord.
A chord whose harmony, whose true geometric form, only resolves when it passes through that fractal lens he just printed.
Wow. The sensory details here are intense. The high-pitched whine of the capacitors felt in his teeth, the smell of ozone.
The scent of the universe itself being charged with potential. It's incredibly evocative. You feel the energy building, the sheer power being focused and shaped by his intellect and his newly forged device.
He's literally built a machine to speak the language of reality, using information, material, and energy in concert.
He has forged the tool, and now we reach the climax of the chapter. Dawn is breaking, the first light hitting the grimy annex windows. Jaren is exhausted, but electric.
He's ready. He initiates the sequence. The graph on the screen shows the two entangled particles, just jittery, chaotic lines for now. The endless dance of probability.
He takes that final deep breath. Everything hangs on this moment. Theory, simulation, construction, it all comes down to this.
And his final command, just a whisper. Imprint the pattern, echo.
And Dana's curtain. Chapter 4 leaves us right there, hanging on that precipice.
Yeah.
The hum of the machine, the charged air, the fate of the experiment unknown.
What a journey just in these 2 chapters, from that nightmare of meltdown and failure
to this moment of potentially rewriting the rules of existence. He faced that crushing failure with the first simulation, but his unique way of thinking, that ability to synthesize, let him see the real problem wasn't the message, but the voice.
Turning that failure into something even more ambitious, more elegant, that fractal lens, the 12-wave chorus, it's incredible.
It really speaks to resilience, doesn't it? And maybe the necessity of failure in pushing boundaries. You hit a wall, you reassess, you find a more creative path.
And it makes you think, doesn't it? Jaren had this moment where his entire understanding, his scripture of physics, suddenly seemed incomplete, just translations of a single verse.
It prompts you to wonder, what assumptions do we hold in our own fields, in our own understanding of the world that might just be partial truths? What larger book are we not seeing yet?
It's a humbling thought. Our most advanced knowledge might still be just scratching the surface.
So this deep dive leaves us with Jaren having built this extraordinary device. He's forged the means to speak the language of creation, combining information, material, and energy.
The ultimate question hangs in the air. What happens next? Does it work if he can speak this language?
What does the universe speak back? What happens when you have a conversation with reality itself?
What are the implications? For him, for science, for humanity, and maybe more chillingly, what are the unforeseen consequences?
Ripples in reality. When one mind tries to conduct the symphony of existence, does he risk hitting a sour note with cosmic repercussions?
Those are the massive questions we're left with. A fantastic setup for whatever comes next in this story.
Absolutely. A truly provocative place to pause.
Indeed. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explored the Forge.
We hope you found it as fascinating as we did. We'll look forward to exploring the next chapter with you soon.